Hey, so what's up guys? I just wanted to do a really quick video. I feel like every time I say that it ends up being at least a 10-minute video. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the stuff because I know I haven't done a video in a while. But I wanted to give a kind of an update. Not much has really gone down. It's just been planning and ordering parts and such. Oh, and I forgot to mention really quickly before I continue in the video, there's going to be like a meet tomorrow at We Don't Lift Racing. Search it up. It's in Mesa, Arizona, Phoenix area. So if you guys want to go, I'm probably going to go to that. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to like record and stuff. There's supposed to be time attack cars and race cars, and there's apparently like a dyno shop right next door, and they're going to be doing dynos and stuff on some powerful cars. So let me know if you want me to record any of that, if you want to see it. I'm always down to bring the camera since I'm going anyways with my Mercedes to flex. For the car, as you can see, it's basically in the same condition as when we got the engine, with no wires in here at all, just seats. Seats are the only things I actually have to remove from this car. Engine base still looks the same, as you can see, but all I've really been doing is really just trying to find a job too, because obviously with a build like this I'm going to need money. I posted recently on the community thread, if some of you saw. A lot of people got mad, and I don't know why, because, well, I know why, but I mentioned already, like, around SEMA time, even before SEMA, I said that, like, eventually I will stray away from the whole Need for Speed thing, which isn't really a surprise, hopefully. Some people think I should do this for, like, the rest of my life, but, you know, things change. I still like this car a lot, but obviously, after looking at this livery it's actually been a year since I completed version 1. I do want to step away from it. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna like right now start sanding it or anything. The point right now, what I want to do now is clean up the engine bay, do the lines, put the engine swap in, get it to run and drive, and while there's no wires inside the car, in the interior, I want to paint the whole interior for what the next livery is going to be. And if you guys are wondering, since this won't really be a secret, since we're doing a YouTube build series of this whole thing, it's going to be a John Player livery where the whole car is gloss black. The secondary color is going to be a vintage gold, so the sponsors of this car and maybe some kind of like line livery work are going to be vintage gold on the side of the car. The cage is going to be painted vintage gold, and then I'm going to tape off the cage and paint every single other bit except the cage black. The engine bay is going to be gloss black, and the cage that's going to come through here to the strut tower is going to be gold, and the valve covers, well, the valve covers on this engine and the intake manifold will probably be gold, and that's really it. So it's kind of like a nice little thing. If you guys don't know, John Player's a old, what is it, 80s F1? I think it was Lotus. Was it Lotus? I don't know, but it's a really cool livery. I really want to do it, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And as I also said, I am going to absolutely put 100% effort into this car. As you guys know, and I'm totally admitting it, this car was very much rushed for SEMA, which it does not make me happy at all. And I can't blame anyone for it, because I was the one that entered the tuner battlegrounds thinking that, hey, this car is going to be done for SEMA. And I won thanks to everyone's support, and I had to really rush for a lot of stuff. I mean, we literally took this thing from basically a car with no body and stuff and no interior to a full car, not what it is right now, in the matter of a month. Another cool thing is, look at this. I know it's funny because I just said I'm going right from the Need for Speed thing, but my friend Adam, he has the Pro Street 240SX replica. He makes custom license plate and custom LED taillights. Not these, just he makes those crazy like dancing LED taillights. So he made plates, and he has these for sale for $20 each. He has a Most Wanted one, like a Carbon one, a Need for Speed Most Wanted, and a Pro Street one. And you know how the Pro Street, all it says is Need for Speed. The Carbon, I think, what is it, Palmont, City of Palmont, and this is Rockport. This is not a legal plate, so please don't use it, but I just thought it's cool. It is aluminum, it is like a genuine plate. This is my real plate in Jersey. This is what the car is registered to, and everything. But I've done a good amount of organizing to this. As you can see, these are my headers for the swap kit, both side headers. The coolant swirl pot, the oil catch can, the intake, the top hose, the wiring harness I believe I put under here, which is yeah, that's the wiring harness. It's actually extremely simple compared to what I had. I have a new Corvette fuel filter in there. I'm gonna have some more goodies in there for the ignition, the fuel lines. There's the engine itself, as you guys can see, full aluminum, 6.3 liter, about 500 bhp. It still has the stock LS1 heads, so if I was thinking of maybe taking off these heads and sending them away to be CNC ported and build them, and that should make another maybe like 80 to 100 horsepower, especially if I do E85 fuel. But as you can see, I always ramble off topic. But basically that's what's going to happen with the M3. It will be running with the V8 and driving with this livery for a little bit just to do some testing on it. I do want to do a track day of it with this livery just to test the V8 and find any quirks and stuff like that. We are getting new suspension from Fortunato, as you know. We're going to be replacing all the bushings and stuff with solid ones. I just spent $800 at Chase Bays because I'm doing a brake master cylinder that deletes this giant chunk, so it's not going to be vacuum assisted. It's going to be manual brakes. It deletes all those metal lines that go to the ABS, completely deletes all of that, so it's all clean. It's going to have braided lines that go to the brakes. And I also ordered, as you know, I cut these because I was lazy because I knew I was going to be doing that anyway, but these rubber hoses, I'm replacing all 4 with braided steel lines, so they'll have better response. Like I said, new suspension, going to be going to race compound brakes and rotors all around. And as well as the power steering lines to connect to the power steering for the LS, and the clutch lines to connect the BMW clutch master thing to the T56, because that's the trans we're going to be running. As you know, I still do have to buy a T56. It's about $2,000, and I also have to buy a clutch kit for it. Realistically speaking, I could have this car running in a week. In the sense of running and driving. All I need is a T56, a clutch, a drive shaft, and a radiator. That's actually it. That's all I really need. It's just, that's not the way I want to do this car. I don't want to just get it over with while the engine is out. I really do want to take my time and do everything in there. I want to sand it down completely. I want to do tubs like the real M3 GTR had. Here's a picture of tubs if you don't know what they are. They give you more front wheel turn clearance. And I want to make it cage extensions where the cage comes through the firewall and to the strut tower, which here's another picture of that. So, point being, I really want to do this quality, and hopefully you guys can respect that, because it is going to take a lot longer, but I promise you, I want a car that is like a full race car, but it's also like show worthy, meaning like it's built, it looks like a show car, and it's because it's so perfect, but yet it's actually a race car. And this is what this thing is going to be built. It's not for shows. I will take it to shows for people that want to see it and such, but this is being built to be a full race car that I will drive a lot on the street as well. But like I said, hopefully you guys can respect that. A lot of people were angry and saying they're, oh yeah, like we're unsubbing, you know, screw that if you're not doing Need for Speed. But seriously, big thanks to people that respect what I do. All I really want to be is a car YouTube channel that builds cars. And I mean, obviously we only have one car right now, but you know, later down the road, maybe we'll have more. I mean, I have the Mercedes back there, which I'm looking into getting bags for, because that seems to be the only non-sketchy way of making it low, besides cutting springs, which is sketchy. But that's all I really want to do. I so to say, I don't want to be known for making Need for Speed replicas. Nothing against any of the Need for Speed replica stuff. I love Need for Speed as a kid, but personally, replicas, I feel like they kind of hold me back a little bit when it comes to doing things you want. And so, yeah, I mean, personally speaking, they're just, I mean, it'd be really cool to do a Crosses Corvette and all these things, but, you know, simply speaking, it holds me back creativity-wise, and hopefully you guys can respect that, because I just want to do what I want to do with cars, and I've kind of been known for doing pretty cool shit with all the cars, so I just want to continue that and keep getting better and better, improve my skills. Everything will always be done by me. I'm trying to get better at painting. As you guys know, this is the second time I painted this car. I'm going to buy a MIG welder and start fabricating my own stuff. Point is, I just want to show people that you could build, you know, full cars like this in your garage just by, you know, doing stuff by yourself and trying. Because I think the biggest thing about cars that I see that I hate is that people are too scared to try stuff on their own because they're scared of messing up. But I just want to prove people that they can do stuff. I mean, yeah, you are going to mess up. That's kind of life. You're going to mess up if you do something for the first time. But that's kind of my goal as a channel, is just to inspire people to DIY and build stuff on their own and be creative, you know, just go away from what everyone else expects you to do and do cool stuff. So shortly before I wrap up the video, I just wanted to talk about the body kit. I think I'm just going to scrap this entire body kit. Not scrap it, but I will probably sell it. So maybe in a few months, if anyone's interested in the full body kit, you can have it for like $1,000, $1,500 maybe, or something like that. It's $2,000, but it is probably going to be missing the side skirts because they don't really fit that well. But I think I'm going to be going to this crazy like 7,000 or 8,000 euro body kit from Germany. It's actually a replica. Quick lesson, I just spoke a couple days ago on the phone with somebody from Scottsdale Motorsports. They're the people that make that crazy $30,000 genuine kit from the genuine molds using the genuine casting process of carbon fiber. And he actually explained to me so much about the GTR. Like it's insane. They work with the race engineers, the PTG engineers, chassis engine engineers. He's worked with BMW Motorsports themselves. He's worked with some of the drivers that drove the GTRs. He is so knowledgeable. It is like the most information I've ever absorbed in an hour conversation. Absolutely insane. I wish I could have recorded some of it. But basically he explained to me that there's the versions of the GTR body kit. The one that everyone loves from Most Wanted is this boxy one that I'm showing you right now, and that was when BMW Factory came into American Le Mans Series in 2001. PTG had been racing the E46 M3 the year before, but that was with the P54, which is a straight 6 3.2, basically the race version of an S54. 2001, they both started using the P60 B40 V8, which is what everyone knows, the 4-liter flat plane crank V8. And they both had the boxy body kit, which is what I'm showing you right now. And PTG, because their headquarters are in Virginia, they were able to rework this body kit into the rounded body kit. And the rounded body kit is the one that looks more like this. And you'll notice from the pictures I'm showing you, it has the more quarter panel like that, and the front fenders that are more rounded around the edges, and the front bumper that's less boxy. And they did that because it was actually more aerodynamic than the boxy one. And the BMW factory car, which is the white and blue one that I showed you, that's actually Schnitzer Racing. They're the ones that were racing the car for BMW factory and PTG, and both had the V8s. And then later through the year, actually Schnitzer, once the E46 got eliminated from the American Le Mans Series because they basically got banned because of the V8 being not like in a legal street car, because you know how like the whatever, complicated. Basically, when Schnitzer took it back to race in the European Series, they reworked the body kit once more. And once they reworked the body kit once more, they created this body kit, which I'm showing you now. And that was their final form of the aerodynamic body kit and everything like that. The hood, as you will notice, didn't have the same hood vents I have. The same hood vents I have is what the GTRs had, which are like this. The ones they had were these boxy ones, and they were just for aero. And the air would actually come through the front of the bumper and come out of the hood, and it was just for downforce, just for flow of air to eliminate pressure underneath the car. So just, sorry to bore you guys if you don't care, but just a quick lesson on the GTRs, because I have been absorbing an insane amount of knowledge and just looking. But I decided I am probably going to go with this one from Germany for almost $9,000 shipped. It's like 6,900 euros including tax. Yeah, including tax, including the 19% tax. It's absolutely insane. So it's full carbon, and I just figured, hey, might as well just spend the money to have a kit that fits and works. Saving up $9,000 is going to be very, very hard, but obviously the primary focus right now is getting all the pieces I need to make this run, getting a welder, buying the paint. That's really it. And then after that, I'll probably start the rest of my money saving that into the actual body kit. So we'll be mobbing around with this car as the Need for Speed car with the LS for maybe like 2 to 3 months. And then once I save for the body and it comes from Germany, then we'll probably start sanding this all down and getting it into the black thing. And maybe a goal is to get this thing for like SEMA 2019. I have no idea who I'd show with. SEMA isn't a type of show that you just show your car with. SEMA is more of a thing where you actually you have to be brought there by a company. Like, we went there with Tuner Battlegrounds because we won that competition. But like Adam LZ, he went with Garrett, I believe, the turbo sponsor. Vibrant Perform. There's a million companies. Like my sponsor Fortunato actually did not have a booth there this past year, but suspension companies like BC, KW, Olin's actually brought a Koenigsegg there this past year. But point being, it's not a type of show, but maybe if there's a company that gets on board with what I'm doing, I have been talking to a representative from Toyo Tires for some kind of a sponsorship thing, but obviously me telling him I'm going to do this crazy car doesn't mean, you know, shit to him, because I don't have this, well, I do have a crazy car, but it's not finished. So basically he's just kind of like, hey, like, just keep me updated with your progress, and maybe towards the end of the year, maybe then we could talk about some kind of partnership tire-wise and all this. But I'm just telling you guys this because obviously I always want to be super honest with you guys and tell you about all this stuff. But enough of me talking. This is already a long enough video, but basically, thank you so much for your support, for all the people that still are staying. I promise I won't let you down. I really, really want to continue building cool cars. I know I'm not the most personality-wise person on YouTube, and I know that for a fact, but hopefully I could be the cooler car builder on YouTube. Mainly because obviously everything gets done with my own two hands, and you guys learn with me. And also, if you guys see me slacking or anything on this build, or I'm being lazy and I'm taking shortcuts, call me out, seriously, because I want everything to be perfect. I want to spend money on the quality parts. I want to put in the extra hours just to make random stuff that people won't even know or see just better. I just want this to be a real build that's quality, and I want this car to represent my best ability to build cars. So if people see me and they want to know what I can build, it will be the car that I can show them and be like, yeah, this is what I can build, this is what I do.